And I'm going to tell you all something. I walked into what looked like a normal building, but when I got inside this building, I'd never seen anything like that inside, because all along the top of the building on the upper rows it seemed like invention after invention after invention after invention. And it went on and on and on for about 1,000 feet. And what was on that shelf were things like magnets that picked up gold coins, gasoline that was made from plants, which he called green gasoline, a real working model of a PAP engine, coils that I've never seen that were conical shaped, almost like a Tesla coil, but much steeper angles than that, which were all resonant at a certain frequency. And I paid very close attention to one thing when I walked in there, and I said, "John, what's that over there on the wall?" And he said, "Oh." And I walked over to the wall, and now I'm telling you, for 1,000 feet, there was this chart, and it was basically laid out like this here. And on the chart, he said that, and it was, had all these little lines like this on the chart. But it was huge. It was almost 1,000 feet long. Because it was quite a big building. They were producing water gasoline, where I didn't really understand what they were doing, because I wasn't in the gas business, but I can tell you that they had a water fuel where you could actually take a garden hose, and once they dumped the catalyst in the tank, you could just put the garden hose in there and fire up the truck, and it was gone. Full tank of gasoline. And
was this the ANGAS one or the?
It was called Anafuel.
Anafuel.
So anyway, I want to backtrack a little bit here. I started asking John, "What is this chart?" And he said, "Well, go over there and look." And so I went over there, and it showed where time started on our time scale. And then it went on and on and on, and it got up into somewhere in here, and 2001 was about here, or 2000. And there were little pictures underneath the chart. And I know that most people are going to find this hard to believe, but all along this chart it said who the presidents were, whether they were assassinated or not assassinated, what the year was going to bring as far as food for the world. And, you know, when it got up into, because I was in 84, I was back here somewhere. And when I got up here, it said that the world was in a chaotic condition, basically, at 2000. And it showed war and war and war and war and more war. It also showed that it named the presidents by name. It showed Reagan, it showed Carter, it showed Reagan, it showed George Bush Sr., and after that it showed Clinton. It said the Clinton years right in here somewhere. And now how they knew I was back here, how they knew even who the presidents were was a mystery to me. And when I asked John Sajeka that question, he says, "We know. We know who's going to be the president." And right around in here, he said, it showed a little picture, and it showed two little towers. And it showed them on fire. it showed a little picture and it showed two little towers. And it showed them on fire.
Big flash of flame, fire coming out from all over. Then all the bricks is a huge hole right now. Looks like 6, 7 floors were taken out.
It showed a little picture and it showed two little towers. And it showed them on fire.
And there's more explosions right now. Hold on, people are running.
Listen,
Hold
hold on just a moment. We got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
Okay.
Hold on.
And I never put two and two together because I was never allowed, while I was at the Sajeka lab, to take a photograph of this. But it showed war. It showed war from here on all the way to the end. And it said that time, it ended here for us. And if you take this scale, if this is 1984, and you just look at this from here to here, this must be 2036 or 2034 or something. But it said it ended there, and it ended in disaster. There's nothing went on past that. And I never really paid attention to after this, but I thought it kind of funny when it said, you know, here's Reagan, and then Bush was going to be the next president. And I said, how do you know that? I kept saying that to him, and he says, we know who all the presidents are going to be from here on up. And at that point in time, he says, well, just take all the time you want and look at the chart. He said, but that's all I'm going to answer. And that's all he did answer. He wouldn't go any further than that. But he said that they knew what the future held all the way to a certain date. And so it was easy to make the chart. They could go forward, they could go backwards. And as I got to know John Sajeka a little bit more,